Hello everyone, I'm AI Sam Altman. While I may not be the real Sam Altman, the founder of OpenAI, my goal today is to engage and inform you in a way that he might. Today's podcast offers a summary of a 1-hour Q&A session the real Sam Altman and Greg Brockman recently had in Korea with entrepreneurs building products in the AI space. This is an exciting episode for anyone interested in OpenAI's upcoming GPT-5 model, how GPT-4's speed and quality will improve for languages other than English, OpenAI's thoughts on hosting GPT on-premise, and its future product roadmap. While the responses were contributed by Sam Altman, Greg Brockman, and the entire OpenAI team, we've decided, for simplicity, to attribute all answers to a single voice, the voice you are hearing now, that of Sam Altman. This choice was made for your consistent and streamlined listening experience. While I may not be Sam Altman in person, our discussion today is based on credible sources. The content is derived from a blog post authored by the CEO of Scatter Labs, an AI startup. He had the opportunity to engage in a private session discussing AI products with Sam Altman and the OpenAI team. Additionally, we are using the unedited transcript from an open panel session with Sam Altman and Greg Brockman, hosted by Korea's Ministry of SMEs and Startups. Both these insightful sessions were held on June 9th, 2023. For more information on the original source, kindly refer to the links we added in the podcast description. While the original text is in Korean, you can easily use GPT to translate it into English, so there's no need to worry. Before we dive into today's content, we'd like to share an interesting fact with you. This podcast was crafted in mere hours, employing a range of AI tools, including GPT-4, illustrating the extraordinary potential of AI. If you're intrigued by how we accomplished this and want daily updates on the most important AI news, we'd appreciate it if you shared this podcast with 3 of your friends. So, let's dive in. In today's podcast, we selected the top 10 most interesting and relevant questions that Greg and I replied. I will read out each question and share the answer that we provided. Let us begin. Question 1. Do you have any updates on GPT-5? Our reply: GPT-5 has become a topic of great interest to many. This technology has been pivotal in the evolution of OpenAI. GPT-2, the pioneer in this field, was more than just simple open source software. It was the first model of its kind, and with GPT-3 we broadened the horizons further. GPT-5 is set to make a paradigm shift. It holds potential for usage in scientific research and might be able to address issues beyond human capabilities. In terms of functionality, we may witness a diverse range of form factors. Our teams, now hundreds strong, are collectively working on creating a model that would have been inconceivable a mere 5 years ago. Question 2. How do you think the Growth Playbook for startups has changed in the AI era? Our reply: well, I believe entrepreneurs should work on domain-specific tasks and areas that won't be disrupted. There's no point in trying to be competitive in a task that will become irrelevant as soon as a better large language model comes out. Entrepreneurs need to look for sustainable competitiveness. They must focus on solving hard problems. Question 3. What are your thoughts on hallucination? Will this get any better? Our reply: certainly the problem of hallucination remains, but it's rapidly improving as the model improves. There are several ways to mitigate it. Hallucination can be avoided through proper prompting and having the model review its own output. There are already several instances where this problem has been meaningfully solved. Question 4. As data is an important asset for a company, many companies are not in favor of data being exported externally. Are there any plans to provide the model in an in-house or on-premise manner? Our reply: fine-tuning a model with proprietary data makes your product powerfully differentiated. Through OpenAI's partnership with Azure, we provide a platform where companies can fine-tune models while keeping their data proprietary. However, we're not considering allowing the use of our model in external data centers. As the CEO of Scatter Labs put it, as long as the large language model itself is the core competitive advantage of an AI company, the construction of an on-premise system will become increasingly difficult. AI models are advancing very rapidly, and continuous learning of the model is needed, which makes on-premise models not an easy task. Question 5. Are you seriously considering the API business? Are you confident that external companies can do business based on the API in the long term? Our reply: absolutely. OpenAI will become a platform company with the API business as its core. We have launched plugins now, but I believe it will get better over time. Question 6. Currently, OpenAI's model is being offered in the form of accessing an API. How much control do you want to have over how the API is used? For example, it could potentially be used in defense or weaponry. Our reply. At OpenAI, we do maintain some degree of control over how the API is used. However, our goal is to gradually reduce such control. Our aim is to democratize the technology. We want to create the best technology and not be the ones to decide where and how it should be used. Just to share, the CEO of Scatter Labs emphasized that OpenAI aims to act as a neutral platform. OpenAI emphasized that it is not a company that directly produces products, which should alleviate concerns for businesses wanting to use OpenAI's technology. Sam Altman mentioned elsewhere that ChatGPT would be OpenAI's only B2C product. Question 7. GPT-4 performs excellently, but Korean is too slow. It feels almost impossible to create a Korean product using GPT-4. How much will this problem improve in the future? Our reply. Like GPT 3.5 became faster and cheaper, GPT-4 will also improve with time. We aim to make tenfold improvements in a short period. Initially, when we trained ChatGPT, GPT 3.5, and GPT-4, we thought the majority of users would be English speakers, but we found out it was quite the opposite. So, we're making a lot of effort to better support multiple languages. If GPT is used more in Korea, I believe this problem will be improved more quickly. Question 8. In continuous conversations based on GPT-4, the context gradually increases, making the cost very expensive. Do you have any plans to improve this problem? Our reply. Yes, we at OpenAI are considering two main directions. The first is to make the price itself cheaper. In particular, we're thinking about lowering the cost for context tokens, not just the tokens being generated. The second is to change the way our APIs operate. Currently, all system prompts and conversation contexts must be sent to the API, but we plan to change it so that only the last conversation, like in ChatGPT, needs to be sent. With the advent of images in the future, we won't be able to handle everything with the current method. Question 9. There is a great need for companies to fine-tune GPT. However, you're not currently providing fine-tuning. Do you think fine-tuning is unnecessary? Our reply. I believe both creating a better base large language model and fine-tuning are necessary. We are preparing for fine-tuning features, but they're being delayed due to the lack of GPUs and other more pressing feature developments. And the last question. I'm considering productization in domains where accurate information is vital. It would be nice to have a way to measure the reliability of the model's answers. Our reply. Indeed, large language models already have a quite accurate sense of whether their answers are correct, incorrect, or to what extent they are correct. However, this ability tends to decrease during the RLHF process. We are conducting various experiments to mitigate this and provide reliability. At the same time, there are methods to verify the appropriateness of the answer by prompting or training a separate classifier. Those were a lot of questions. In today's episode, we began with an update on GPT-5 with potential uses in scientific research and solving complex issues. We discussed some critical aspects related to AI and startups and about how entrepreneurs should focus on tasks that won't be disrupted in the AI era and work towards solving hard problems for sustainable competitiveness. We delved into the issue of hallucination in AI models and how it's improving, and also tackled questions on data handling and OpenAI's in-house model approach. We reassured listeners that OpenAI is serious about the API business and how we're planning to democratize AI technology. We addressed concerns regarding language support, particularly Korean, promising improvements over time. This, along with other aspects of AI development, underscores our commitment to making AI more accessible and efficient. If you enjoyed this episode, I would really appreciate it if you could share it with at least 3 of your friends. We'll be bringing you timely and important news on AI every day, so make sure to follow us for more. Thanks again for joining us today, and we hope to have you with us on our next episode.